All right, testing. Testing. Can you guys hear me? Make sure my audio is good. I can see my mic. I can see my desktop audio. Yep, desktop audio works. Awesome. What is going on, people of YouTube? My name is Ian, and today we're going to be doing a review, pretty much a recap of my most recent powerlifting competition that I was just in. I've been wanting to make this video for a hot minute. I just haven't had time, and right now I do have time. So we're going to knock that out right now. So I am 28 years old. I weighed 211 pounds during this meet. We'll talk about that. And I've been training for this meet for about a year. So my last real powerlifting meet was in 2022 at Luke Air Force Base. When I say real, it wasn't like a federated powerlifting meet. I'm not part of the IPF or the World Powerlifting Federation or anything like that. This is just like local base hosted meets. I'm in the military, and weightlifting is a very common, as that's like a fitness. We have a fitness requirement in the military to meet military standards. So going to the gym is like secondhand for a lot of people, and because of that, we have a really good weightlifting culture, and we do a bunch of things like powerlifting meets, bodybuilding shows, etc., etc. Anyway, my last big one was in 2022, where I weighed 214, and I can't remember my totals. I actually might have my scorecard. No, okay. So I lied. This is 2 powerlifting meets ago at Luke. I think we hit a 605 deadlift, a 320 pound bench, and I can't remember what the squat was. I think 440, I think was my top set on squat. Super happy with that. And then, we PCS'd out here to England, and then we did my second most recent powerlifting meet. I weighed 214. I was 26 years old, so this happened in 2023. And I have actually my scorecard right here, so I can read you my squat attempts. My first squat was 420, second squat was 460, third attempt was 465. My bench press, first attempt was 330, second attempt was 350, third attempt was 365. I failed 365, so my best was 350. First deadlift was 585. I failed the second deadlift of 635 because of hitching, and then I got my third attempt of 635, again with a total of 1,450 pound total. Not bad, right? And then this is my most recent powerlifting meet, so let me switch screens right here. So we're just going to kind of break down everything. This is my first attempt squat that we're about to see. I have all my lifts. I went 9 for 9 at this meet. I did win for my weight class, which was the 211 through 230 weight class. I took first place. I got my award over here I can bring over in a minute. But yeah, we killed it. I just kind of want to talk about, so before I start the video going over how this meet went, I do want to talk about weighing and how this meet went. So this meet was on a Saturday, and I've been running the Johnny Candido Forever program for this meet. And So I've been training powerlifting for about a year before. So all of 2024 to 2025, I've been pretty much exclusively powerlifting training, besides when I was gone for a 3-month deployment where I didn't have the equipment to powerlift. So I just did a bunch of running during that deployment. But for 9 months out of the 12, I was pretty much exclusively powerlifting for bench, squat, and deadlift. And that went really well. I was running Evolve AI, which is a program kind of developed by Garrett Blessings, and I love it. It's super cheap, and it's nice because it's just it's an easy programmed powerlifting program with some AI features to it. It can calculate, automatically calculate for fatigue, and if you rate something really heavy on RPE, it will automatically adjust your load, and it can kind of compensate for that. So that's where the AI portion of it comes in, rather than just going off of percentage based like Excel documents. So I ran that for a whole year, and I peaked around December. I think I had a mock meet with myself on December 25th. I can't remember what I did. But I found out shortly afterwards that on March 8th, we're having a base powerlifting meet, which is the tri-base powerlifting meet. And people keep asking what tri-base means. Tri-base just means all 3 bases. So where I'm stationed at, you have RAF Lakenheath, RAF Feltwell, and RAF Mildenhall, all within like a 6-mile radius of each other. So the tri-base, because it's all 3 bases, we're invited to compete at this one meet. So thus it's called the tri-base meet. Anyway, so after December, I peaked. I did a mock meet, went really well. And I was like, you know what? I want to try a new program. I've been following Johnny Candido for a long time. And I was like committed to trying out his Forever program. It's weird. I've been paying for it. I actually owned it for probably most of the year of 2024. Just in support of him, because it's only $12 a month. It's super cheap. And I think the knowledge and information he puts out is absolutely insane and really good stuff. And I just wanted to support him, even though I wasn't actively running his program. But anyway, I started running it. It was an 8-week program, so not a little bit longer than his famous 6-week program. And I just did everything pretty much verbatim. I did have a back injury shortly, like right in the beginning of January. I hurt my back, deadlifting conventional, a 405. It was like on the third set, my spine just was like, and I was broken for a hot minute. The doctor diagnosed it as a severe lumbar strain. Yeah, so we you know, nothing spinal, just all muscular. Yeah, so I had to recover from that. So that affected my deadlift during this meet. I was killing it on deadlift. I hit like 600 for a triple in December before I injured my back. Pretty easy triple too. So you'll see also in the video, my sumo stance is extra wide. And the reason for that is just because I'm still not 100% from my back injury that happened. Maybe I'm 100% because I deadlifted pretty well, I would say. However, I had to just widen my stance just to ease my positioning to make it a little bit easier in the hole. So anyway, let me quit yapping and we'll talk about my first lift. So, well, before I do that, I got to talk about weighing in, right? So we went to the meet. I brought all my video equipment. So this is actually a live stream video with my Canon that I'm currently using right now to see me. I brought this camera in with an extension cord and a power converter and a laptop, my little Asus laptop, and live stream the whole event. So this is actually like out of 9 hours of footage. I had to clip all these and create my own video just for my stuff. So if you guys are interested in seeing the whole entire powerlifting meet raw, unedited for 9 hours, it's in my YouTube videos. So you can click on that. It should be like 3 or 4 videos ago called the Tri-Base Powerlifting Meet. Anyway, so we get to the meet. I set up my camera equipment, and the meet starts at 9 o'clock. So I got there at around 8, and 7:50, and I got everything set up with my camera equipment, and then we started weigh-ins. So we went and filled out our British Drug-Free Powerlifting Association card. And by the way, this was a non-federated meet. However, we did have the British Drug-Free Powerlifting Association kind of there as not necessarily a sponsor, but we had 2 official judges who actually you can see in this video right here. This gentleman right here in the white shirt with the tie is an actual British Drug-Free Powerlifting Association judge. And then we have also Mr. Lian, who is a federated powerlifting judge. So 2 real actual powerlifting judges that are in the British Drug-Free Powerlifting Association. So that was really awesome. So it's not a real meet, but it was treated like a real meet. It was judged like a real meet. So very strict on judging when it comes to depth, hitching, bench pressing, the commands. So it was a really great learning lesson for a lot of members. Anyway, I weighed in. So when I left the house the morning of this powerlifting meet, I weighed myself. I weighed 206, like on the dot, 206. And if I bring my little Google over here, actually, let me do that over here so you guys don't see what I've been typing, because you don't need to see my eBay or how to draw lines on video or SA-27 SAM lookups. KG to converter. So let me see. I weighed in. So 206, 206. So 206 is 93.44 kilograms, like on the dot. I weighed myself 206 on the freaking dot before I left. I did not drink any more fluids, and I peed afterwards. I peed myself. I peed after I weighed myself. So I weighed 93 kilograms, pretty much 93.4 kilograms on the dot. So I go to weigh in, and I look at the scale. 93.8 is what I weighed. I'm like, great, fantastic. Well, after the powerlifting meet, when I got my scorecard, it said I weighed 95.8 kilograms, which is 211. So either my scale at home is off, which it very well could be. But I saw the scale. It was a digital scale, calibrated digital scale. and it said 93.8. I literally saw it with my own eyes. And I told the judge was like, all right, 93.8. On my scorecard, it said 95.8. So I don't know if there's a clerical error. I don't know if they're just adding 2 pounds to everyone's weight for some reason. I weighed in my drawers and socks. So, you know, I don't know what happened there, but that kind of that kicked me out of the 191 through 210 weight class, which is what I was trying to compete in the whole time. So I would have won 2 weight classes, that one and the 211 through 230, but unfortunately I did not make weight. So enough talking about that. I was upset about it for a minute and then I got over it. So let's go watch this first squat. I am wearing a SBD singlet, which is IPF approved. I am wearing SBD sleeves, the Gen 2s, which are also IPF approved. And I'm wearing these like really weird, just cheap Adidas elevated heel weightlifting shoes, which are probably IPF approved. I would have to confirm on that one. And right now, my first attempt is 205 kilograms or 451.9 pounds. And let's go take a look at this. So I am squatting low bar for this meet. I've trained low bar for about a year. I'm just stronger low bar. So nice, good stance, about shoulder width. Deep breath. Really nice out of the hole. And we get the rack command. And that was just a really easy lift. Let's go take a look at that depth real quick on that first rep too. You'll also notice at the very beginning after the unrack, I take a really big breath right there, lock in, and I go down. I mean, hips are way below the knees at this point. It looked super good. I mean, there's no issues with depth there. The drive out of the hole was pretty good. Some slight knee cave coming up. But when you're hitting pretty close to maximum loads, you're going to have some form breakdown, some slight knee cave. But yeah, it looked good. The mat that we were squatting on was also really stiff. So that was nice because your shoes didn't sink into that. I've had issues with that before. So yeah, good first attempt. Second attempt was 217.5 or 479.5 pounds. I wanted a really conservative opener on squat because squat has been my worst lift historically, and I wanted to build up to a really nice squat. So I wanted something I knew, like even if I was sick or dehydrated, I would confidently be able to get. And so yeah, my opener was around 455. Is kind of what I wanted. So, and because of the kilogram conversion to pounds, that's, you know, what my opener was. So this is my second attempt right here. Belts locked in. Oh, I forgot to say also, I am using a Rogue 13 millimeter lever belt that is also IPF approved. So 479.5 pounds right here. High bar. And I want you guys to notice something. The weight was so heavy on my back after I unracked it. I did not take a bracing breath. So I just breathed in, unracked it, and immediately started my squat. Because I feel like if I would have taken a bracing breath, released all my air, and tried to breathe in, the weight was just so heavy. I feel like I could have taken a full breath because it was just pushing down on me so much. I've never had that happen before. I don't know if it was just nerves or what, but that kind of messed up my bracing a little bit because I just went right for it. So let's watch a squat. Get the squat command. Nice and deep out of the hole. And it was a good lift. So let's watch that one more time. So unrack was good. You know, squat stance is good, but there's no bracing breath. I'm just waiting for that squat command. And yeah, I got it right there. And I go down. I mean, depth, I absolutely sunk this squat. Holy crap. Also, on the coming up out of the hole, this bar that we were using is some British like powerlifting bar. I'm used to a Rogue Ohio power bar, which is what I have in my home gym and which is what our gym has. This has the Rogue Ohio power bar that I have is a stainless steel bar. So besides the knurling, it's stainless steel. And it's smooth because it's stainless steel, right? But it's also somewhat like you can like grip onto. It's not like it doesn't have like a polished coating on it. This bar had like a black polished zinc coating, not on the knurling parts, which made it kind of slippery. So I didn't chalk up my back on this one. I've never had chalked up my back, and out of the hole, the bar just slipped ever so slightly forward, which made me, you know, kind of do like a good morning almost. So, you know, this is not optimal squat form at this point right here. But we still got it. The strength was there. kind of had a good morning out of the hole, and then we were able to rack it and then press forward with that. Yeah, so good lift. I'm looking at the judges because we didn't have a lighting system. They just had these little wands that were red or white. And yeah, good lift. I went 9 for 9, 3 for 3 on every single lift. There was only one command that I got talked to afterwards on my bench, and we can talk about that in a minute. So third squat, 501.5 pounds, 227.5 kilos. I've squatted 495 in the gym before, and it was pretty heavy, and the depth was pretty much right at parallel, maybe just below parallel. Would not be an IPF approved lift. So this was like, I knew how to sink it ass to grass, and I want a 500-pound squat so bad. That's like what my whole goal of 2024 to 2025 was 500-pound squat. And my New Year's resolution for this year was also, I want a 500-pound squat. So I was like, all right, 501.5, we have to get it. So we're hyped up. Randolph in the background, this dude right here is telling me, because I talked to him about this. He's like, what are your goals for this meet? I was like, I just want to hit 500 pounds on squat. So let's take a look and we can break it down.
Okay. Yes, sir. Come on.
And there it is, 501.5 pounds, moved so good. I was so happy that I finally got it. So let's break this down. So again, you'll notice on the unrack, a big bracing breath right here. Trying to get my stance, shoulder width. I'm waiting for the judge to give me the squat command. Squat, there's the squat command. I immediately start. As you can see, I did not take a bracing breath on this one either. So for my second attempt and my third attempt on squats, I did not take a bracing breath, which I think would have helped me out of the hole just ever so slightly. However, it was just so heavy. I felt like if I would have released my air and try to re-brace again, it just wouldn't have been as tight. I was locked in. I do not recommend doing that. That's something that I didn't account for in training. I also, in training didn't ever squat 501. So I guess I didn't know how the load would have felt on my back. Perhaps maybe next time if I'm training for a powerlifting meet, I'll maybe do like static holds with weight that I'm expecting to do at a meet. Anyway, I digress. Downward motion was fine. Absolutely sunker. That thing is I am squatted right there. Elbows flared a little bit out. I would like to see them tucked down next to my side a little bit more. That's just a technique breakdown I'll have to work on. Again, this is top set for me, like heavy wise. So forearm's gonna break down. We come up, we're grinding for it. And once we're past that like halfway point, the quads took over and it was, done from there. Oh, hello, Toby. My cat wants to say hi. And I found out I was waiting for right here. I was waiting for the command. I was like, yeah, I got it. So yeah, that's super awesome. So yeah, squats went really well. Super happy. Finally have a 500-pound squat, not just 500 pounds, 501.5 pound squat. So great personal record there, and couldn't have done it without the Candido Forever program and just being extremely disciplined and putting in the work. So what are you doing? My cat is doing a cameo right now. This is Toby. He's a stinky boy. He likes to sit on people. He likes to sit where people are sitting. Insanely friendly cat. I've never seen him hiss ever. The entire time we've owned him, he's never hissed in front of me. He sits in front of Christy, but that was at the vet, and he was getting his temperature taken. And if you don't know how cats get their temperature taken, he had every right to hiss. Will you get down for me, please? Thank you. Oh, I about ripped my headphones out. All right. Bench press. Bench press opener, I wanted 320 because of the kilogram conversion where we settled for 319.6, which is 145 kilos. This first bench press is what I got talked to by Mr. Lee for when I set up. I have a very narrow stance with my feet, and I was almost touching my feet against this pole on the bench. This pole, I guess. And you cannot use like any part of the bench to like push against. So I almost got called out for that, but I was still green light because I technically didn't touch it. I was just really close to touching it. So we could take a look at that right here. So this is my first attempt. Also, I'm talking to the spotters. So during this meet, and by the way, the spotters and everyone that was changing plates and the judges were fantastic. However, I did notice that this spotter right here liked to quickly just like pick it up and just very quickly like let it go. And how I like to spot is I like them to, you know, have probably like 20% of the load. They'll put it in front of me and then very gently release the weight, not just like jerk it, because that can cause forward motion, that can cause backward motion, that can cause you to like, it's just not stable. And I saw a couple people kind of have some rough unracks because of that with the spot. So I'm just clarifying, hey, can I just get a very gentle unrack? Yep. Yeah, smooth is what I said. Smooth. So we're setting up. We're allowed to, in this competition, we were allowed to squat with a belt. So I am wearing my Rogue belt. Obviously, I'm wearing my Titan singlet. I'm using flats. So I'm using Converses, just like Vans. Yeah, just Converses, nothing special there. And then I am using my Mark Bell Gangster wraps, which are very stiff wraps. Those, I'm not sure if those are IPF approved or not. However, we're allowed to use wraps. And for the width, I'm putting my middle finger on the knurling, powerlifting knurling ring. So. And there's the unrack, and you can see my feet are pretty close to touching that bottom support column of the bench. They weren't quite touching it, but man, they're close, and that would red light you. So just something to be mindful of. Also, you can see the unrack, the bar kind of swung forward, so let's take a look at that. Oh, let's just replay the unrack real quick. First unrack was not bad, but yeah, just see how it was let go just a little early. Right, the bar's still moving forward above my chest, and he let go of it. So just I don't like that. I want it to be completely centered above me and then let go. So it is what it is. You know, good learning lesson for everyone. So let's watch this first one. Butter. I mean, the pause commands were insanely fast this meet, which I used that to my advantage. Everyone was getting. Oh, sorry. Just kicked the cat by accident. He's by my feet. I didn't actually kick him. I just ran my foot into him by accident. Anyway, the pause commands were super fast. So 320, great opener. And yeah, there's nothing much else to talk about that. I got talked to after this about my feet. So for the second and third attempts, I've put my feet just a little bit wider. No big deal. I will also say, this was also my first competition ever squatting, benching, deadlifting with competition plates, kilogram plates. Pretty cool. There's a lot, I feel like less whip, and it feels more like locked in and stable, which is pretty cool. So second attempt. Oh geez, I already forgot what my second attempt was. Okay, yeah, 157.5, man. 157.5 or 347.2 pounds. I went a little conservative with this one. I was debating on if 360 was there. I really wanted to hit 355. That was my goal. That'd be 5 pounds above my previous competition powerlifting meet personal record. So take the wins when we can. And I did not want to fail a lift. So I went very conservative this meet. I was also self-coached. So I didn't have anywhere saying, oh, that was fast. You know, you're going to jump to this. I didn't have that. I had like the preset goals. 500-pound squat, 355-pound bench, and then a 600-pound deadlift. And, you know, we executed. So second attempt, 347.2 pounds. So got the bar loaded command. So you hear the belt snap. I'm locked in, walking in. Wrist straps are on. And that was the worst unrack in this meet. You can just see how quick the weight was let go, because it's not even above me before it gets let go. So all of a sudden, 347 pounds are just sitting like in line with my nose, and I have to still bring it forward to where it's in line with my chest. And we'll watch that again. And again, not the spotter's fault, just something I observed. Yeah, see how much forward I had to bring it after it was unracked. We'll watch it one more time. Yeah, right there. Now it's over my chest. I would have liked him to held on to that until it was above my chest, and a nice gentle let go. It is what it is. Feet way better. Not touching the bench. So, and yeah, waiting for the start command. Did someone say go before the start command? Listen to this.
Let's go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Stop.
That's some self-sabotage right there. Who would have done that? Go. What the heck? Anyway, I didn't listen to no go. I was waiting for the start command. Good pause. Moved all right. It moved a little heavy. I mean, for form-wise, everything was great. And so when I said better right there, I was talking to Mr. Lee about the feet positioning. So when I said better, I was just asking, hey, were my feet better? And yeah, he said, yeah, great. So second attempt bench, great. All right, third bench. This was 355 was an option due to the kilogram chart. So 162.5 or 358.2 pounds was my top third bench. I maybe would have had maybe 2.5 to 5 kilograms more. I don't know. I played it conservative. I would rather have been safe than sorry, and we executed because we played it safe. So 358.2 pounds. And this liftoff was probably the best one. Good arch in the back, retract the scapula, plant of the feet. Yeah, after watching it again, maybe had 2.5 kilos in us left. Good pause. Arm positioning is somewhat all right. As you can see, as soon as the press command, my elbows flared super far out, which you want to try to keep them, if you tuck them down, try to come up in the same way, but with top loads like this, your forearm is going to break down. I know I said that earlier about squat, but the same thing applies to bench press. Same thing will apply to deadlift. Your form is not going to be perfect when you're hitting maximum loads. So shoulders, arms flared out a little bit, but consistent upward movement. The transition between chest and triceps was a little slow, but as soon as that went through, we pressed it up. Yeah, it was a great bench. Very happy with that. That is 8 pounds above my last competition bench. And yeah, that's bench, 3 for 3 bench, 358.2 for my top set. All right, so last lift, the deadlift. Again, I talked about it earlier. I'm doing a super wide sumo deadlift, which, sumo doesn't count. We all know that. I am training now strictly conventional, just because I think conventional looks cooler. I want to be a strong conventional puller. So no more sumo, even though I am naturally pretty strong at sumo just because of my leverages with my torso and my, I almost said quadriceps, femurs. I have long femurs. But yeah, I'm also slightly congested, by the way. So if I sound like real nasally, I don't sound like this normally. I'm allergic to my cat, and he's been all over me right now from his little cameo earlier, and he's made me a little sick. So I apologize if I do sound a little nasally. All right, first deadlift, 567.6. My original opener was 545, but in the warm-up room, it rocketed up. During this whole meet, I was slamming water. I did like a slight water cut, 4 weigh-ins, 2-weigh at 206. So again, that's still kind of aggravating to me. I did a water cut and still missed weight, even though I saw on the scale it said 93.8. I digress. So I was rehydrating from that water cut. I probably drank, I kid you not, like a gallon, maybe a gallon and a half of water up to this point. And I wasn't just drinking water. I was drinking aminos. I had a bunch of Propel, like little electrolyte packets. So I was just slamming salt. My wife bought me some French fries. I asked her to buy me some just salty French fries after squats and before bench. So I slammed some French fries that were super salty just to try to, plump me up with salt and really try to get all those joints and all my muscles just filled with salt and water, just to have more volume and hopefully more strength. And by the time I was done doing deadlift warm-ups, I was like, wow, I am moving right now. So I bumped up my first attempt from 545 to 567.6. Let's take a look.
Easy work right here.
I know, sumo doesn't count. We know.
So yeah, waiting for the good lift command. Before I was deadlifting, Sergeant Martin, who's a buddy of mine, he's like, sumo doesn't count. And that's why I was laughing before I started my lift. I was like, all right, I know sumo doesn't count. And especially I was doing such a wide sumo. It just doesn't look cool, right? However, I'm strong sumo, so that's what we went with for this competition because of the back injury as well. Anyway, yeah, it just moved really well. Out of the hole, yeah, very wide sumo. My feet are probably like 2 inches away from the plates on each side. And my grip is half on the knurling and half off the knurling. And I pull a hook grip. So you can see, yeah, bracing's good. I'm off the ground is strong. Lockout was really strong. Shoulders are back. Torso's nice and straight. Knees are locked. It just looked really good, yeah. And a nice gentle down. I feel really bad because our gym floor got damaged from people rapidly dropping weight. So I tried to be very gentle because I noticed that like I could hear the floor kind of when people were dropping weights change as this meet went on. And I was like, ooh, like that floor is probably not doing too well right now. So I was trying to be very gentle putting down the weight. And you'll see that in my second and third attempt. Second attempt. Can't go from 1 to 3. Second attempt, it moved so good. I said, let's just do 600. That was kind of like my goal for the meet, 600 pounds and maybe above. So this is 600.7 or 600.7 pounds and or 272.5 kilograms. Out of the hole was strong. Again, the lockout was maybe a little bit slower compared to my first attempt, but with higher load, that's expected. Yeah, off the ground, this is like super easy. This felt really well. This transition point from here to here was a little bit slower. You can see right there, but still knees are locked. There was no hitching, no downward movement of the bar. It moved up evenly. Shoulders are back. I'm getting a pep talk by my spotter over here from bench press. So yeah, just a good second attempt. Very easy 600 pounds and a nice gentle place down on the ground. All right, and this is my third attempt right here. So this is it for the meet. I wasn't competing against other people really. This is just a meet against myself. I didn't win best lift or anything like that. I did win in my weight class, but I wasn't like trying to go for like Wilks score or the best Wilks or anything like that. There was a kid that weighed like 160 who just annihilated everyone. Strong dude. But yeah, 628.3 pounds. Now I've pulled 635 in competition before. If I wanted to pull 635 in this competition, my first opener would have probably been 585. I would have gone 585, probably 615, and then a 635 to just a smaller jump. I didn't want to have a 35-pound gap from my second to my third attempt. So feeling strong, I chose 285 kilograms on the dot, which is 628.3 pounds. So that's kind of the idea of that. I wanted something safe that I knew I could get. So 628.3 is what we settled with. And this dude was cooking, man. He's saying, some motivational stuff, and that was cool. Not really my thing. I'm more of a pretty locked in, like calm lifter. I don't get the whole like slapping me, doing the smelling salts. Excuse me. The motivational pep talks. I just see it as I'm either going to get this or not. And that's just how I am. But, it was pretty cool to hear. So I just rolled the weight slightly because it was just slightly crooked. And what he said right there, he said, you ain't even the biggest one here, meaning there's a dude that's off screen right here that pulled 660, 300 kilograms. He's a big dude. So I was the second deadlift to him. So that's what he's saying. He's like, you're not even the biggest dude here. That's impressive. That's impressive. He said, this is what everyone came to see. a very, very slow negative there. That was more just to show off because there was a deadlift, a couple ones before mine that the dude did the same thing, and everyone's like, "Wow, bravo!" And I was like, "All right, so I got to get in some of this." But yeah, let's take a look at this one more time. Yeah, I don't know why I do this weird arm thing. So I get there, I plant my feet. Feet are within about 2 inches from the weights. I will say though, it's super cool seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 55-pound red plates on each side. That's a pretty cool sight. Do this weird locked in thing. I think I saw someone do that in high school, and I just thought it was pretty cool. Anyway, it is what it is. Hook grip. Take a big bracing breath. Again, off the ground, super quick. From the knees to, after the knees, it gets a bit slower. So from here, let's see. We're not in the best position. But, it's a top set again. It's heavyweight. So a little bit slower for my knees to lock out. Let's look at that. Yes, that took about, a second and a half. But yeah, shoulders are locked back, legs are locked. There wasn't any hitching, so the strength was there. I probably could have gotten 635, but the lockout, I definitely would have struggled with the lockout. I guess that's my weak point during this meet. So normally it's off the ground, but today it probably would have been the lockout. So a nice gentle place on the ground to not damage the floor, and white light, 3 whites. So yeah, that's the meet. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. I hope people watching got some insight on what kind of my methodology was, my mental planning of this meet, how it went. Obviously, we performed great. And the total of that was, what was that? Let me see real quick. I can't do math in my head right now. It's also like 9:25 p.m. and I'm tired, and I have to go to work soon because I'm doing a volunteer thing. Yeah, so that was a 37-pound total PR, personal record, with a total of 14. Oh crap, 1450 plus 1487. While weighing less, which is awesome, and coming back from a back injury. So the programming was great. I was just consistently good. And then, we excelled at this meet. So we put in the work. We did it brick by brick. Meet went really well. So let's talk about what's going forward now. So we just came off the meet. It's actually been 7 days since today. This is the 15th. We filmed this. Oh, sorry, Toby. I filmed this on the 8th. I just put my foot on him again. That's a little bit more gentle. I'm sorry, little boy. It's warm in here, so he likes to sit in here. Anyway, so what's the plan now going forward? So going forward, I am probably going to. We'll go a little bit bigger. Going forward, I'm done powerlifting. I loved it. Powerlifting will always have a special place in my heart, but it beats you up. Your joints hurt to the core. Your bones will hurt. Your back will hurt. And I am in a phase of my life where I'm 28 years old, almost 28 and a half now, where I want to slowly transition to more of a hybrid style. I really just want to have abs. I just want to be shredded and have abs. And I think now is a good time coming out of such a good prep and such a good meet to transition to more running and more of a hybrid athlete style. So I'm doing more bodybuilding work now in the gym. This whole week I've been doing just pretty much bodybuilding workouts. I've only taken 1 day off. So for example, today I did a 3-mile run, and then today was a back and bicep workout. So immediately started with assisted pull-ups. I did probably like 8 sets of like 12 to 15 on the assisted pull-up machine, because it's just a divine machine to really kill your lats and your biceps. And then I did immediately bent over rows, Y bar pull downs, pullovers with a dumbbell. I can't even remember what I did, but it was a really good workout. And that was after doing a 3-mile run. I did 3 miles and then went to the gym. I ran outside. So we're transitioning more to a hybrid style. What's the goal then? You know, am I going to do another marathon? Probably. That's probably going to be in the cards for the future. Probably we'll start with a half marathon and then we'll go up to a full marathon. We're going to start really focusing on the diet, and reducing calories, slowly. You know, I'm doing a big change in working out right now. So I'm not really doing any diet changes yet. You know, I like to change one variable at a time. So right now I'm changing the workout intensity, the style, and the length of workouts. And then I'll slowly, after my body's used to that, I will slowly start bringing back the calories to shred out. Yeah, so that's kind of what's going on. I think the ultimate goal is probably gonna be like a 5-minute mile. I'll be really happy if I can run a 5-minute mile. Right now, I cannot run a 5-minute mile. I just did a PT test for the military. Got a 96 on it, by the way. So we still have it in us. I ran like an 11 something, maybe a 12 something. I can't remember. But I still got a 96. The Air Force PT test is pretty easy. So, but yeah, would be really cool to run a mile in 5 minutes. You know, the amount of cardio endurance you have to have for that is pretty intense. So I foresee a lot of like zone 2 runs in the future to build up my aerobic base to do more longer and more intense runs. So, for example, I did a 4-mile run 2 days ago, and for the first time in my entire life, I like to always train in zone 2, which for me is around 130 to 152 heart rate wise. And oh, my work alarm's yelling at me. Anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, that distracted me. Let me get a sip of water. Heart rate. Yes. So I did a 4-mile run and I noticed that my heart rate was like at 150, 152. And I was running slow. Like I was running really freaking slow. Like almost borderline. I could probably speed walk it. Like it was a slow jog. My heart was just not going down. Maybe that was the pre-workout. I did take pre-workout because I was going to weightlift afterwards. So I did take pre-workout, ran, and then hit weights immediately afterwards. Probably the more wise thing to do would be like drinking electrolyte, a non-caffeinated electrolyte drink, run 4 miles, and then hit the pre-workout afterwards. So maybe it was the pre-workout. I hope it was the pre-workout, but I also think right now my cardio is not the best. My aerobic base is not good. I can actually pull up my VO2 max right now. And tell you guys it's not good. It's below average. Yes. So it actually went down from my 4-mile to today's run. 44.7 is my VO2 max, which is below average. Womp womp. So it would be cool to also run 5-minute mile, bring my VO2 max up to like a 50 to 55. I don't know anything about VO2 max. You know, this is also speculative. This is just going off my watch. This is not like a scientific, you know, on a treadmill with the oxygen mask, you know, doing an actual VO2 max. So I suspect though it's fairly probably within 10% accuracy, because I feel like that's a pretty accurate score. And I have ran a marathon before and a half marathon, and my VO2 max was like in the 55-ish range, 56 range. So yeah, we're gonna rechange our body composition and get back into it. So that's pretty much all I have for this little stream. I have to get ready for work soon. I'm doing a little volunteer thing, so I work from 11 o'clock tonight till 1 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday night. So really good stuff there. So I appreciate the viewers. I actually saw this got up to like 7 concurrent viewers, which is actually insane because it's just like a talking head video. So I appreciate the views. I appreciate the love. Thank you guys for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe for more content.